and it should work. There we go. And we're live.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVDF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Yoli, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news. Middleboro news here on AM 1530 WVDF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
And good morning and welcome to Middleboro in Review. I am Joey Driscoll, and as I turn the mic up, here we go. Good morning, Don. How are you this morning?
Good morning.
That's it? That's what you say?
Oh, well, anybody who's driving, there's a lot of black ice out there. Black ice alert. Parking lot here at the studio is ice skating rink. 105. I have a pickup truck, so I felt it in the back of my truck a little bit. So there's black ice everywhere. So please go slow. Please go slow. There's black ice everywhere. And watch you walking in the untreated surfaces like the parking lots. Like I said, the parking lot here is icy. It's a landscaping company.
It's very icy.
Yeah, it's the landscaping company. Hopefully it'll come around and salt it or whatever. But even the roads are icy. It's weird because it must have just froze. Black ice is one of those things that it's creepy. You don't know it's there. You don't realize it until it's too late. My driveway seemed all right. Did the driveway feel like all right when you walked?
Yes.
Yeah, it was fine. The porch was fine. Then I felt it over on 105. There's a little pond in between the 4-H club and the end of Plimpton Road there, and it seems like that's where I don't know, because the water's nearby or whatever. I don't know, but just be careful, everybody, with the black ice. I can't stress it enough. Just go slow, please. It's creepy. Black ice is creepy.
There is a winter weather advisory in effect from 1 p.m. this afternoon until about 7 a.m. Monday morning. Snow expected, which may begin as a brief period of rain. There's a total snow accumulation of between 3 to 6. It kind of hovers. It's kind of been hovering between 2 to 5 and 3 to 6. So it seems like it's going to be 3 to 6. It's going to be portions of southeastern Massachusetts and northern and southern Rhode Island. Again, from 1 p.m. this afternoon until 7 a.m. Monday morning. Travel could be very difficult. 1 inch per hour of snowfall rates are possible between 6 p.m. and midnight. The snow will have come to an end in time for the early morning commute, but untreated roads will remain snow-covered and slippery, with temperatures well below freezing. So slow down and use caution while traveling. Very, very important.
You said it's going to start raining first?
Yes.
Around 1 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, maybe the snow won't kick into like 3 or 4, so I say get everything done before 1, or before 3 anyway, for sure, get off the road, so the crews can pre-salt and precondition the roads, and you can sit back and watch Scooby-Doo, right?
Yes.
And watch the snow, and drink hot chocolate, and look out the window. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, be very careful if you are driving
Yeah.
around. 34 degrees right now in Taunton. It will get up to 44 today. Tonight's low will be 29 degrees, and tomorrow it's only going to be 29 degrees with a low of 13. So temperatures are going to plummet pretty quickly, and that'll be the case for at least a week or so, at least at night. The temperatures during the day will start to rise up a little bit, and get a little bit more comfortable by Thursday, but the lows will still be very cold up until next week, up until next Sunday. So it's going to be very cold for a good portion of the time here over the next couple of days. In Taunton, it's 34 degrees right now. And we move over to Middleboro, 35 degrees. It's a high of 46, a low of 29 today, and the same weather pretty much in the area. Now, let's see, we go to Driscoll, North Dakota. I'm assuming this is Driscoll, North Dakota because I'm using my phone today and it doesn't say Driscoll, North Dakota, but I'm assuming it is because it's negative 14 degrees. So I don't think that's Driscoll, Texas. Driscoll, North Dakota, negative 14 with a feels like of negative 27. Yikes.
Yeah.
Not good. Extreme cold warning in effect for Driscoll, North Dakota. These conditions are expected to last up through Tuesday. Actually, up until noon on Tuesday. This is at Driscoll, North Dakota. Not gonna be too warm at all. The temperatures aren't going to really get out of the negatives at all until Tuesday. So very cold, and it's going to get cold again. But it's pretty much what to expect when it comes to the winter in Driscoll, North Dakota. Driscoll, Texas, winter storm watch in effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both ends, huh?
Yeah. These conditions are expected by midnight Tuesday. There's a freeze warning also in effect as well. Temperature really is only going to get up today up until 51 degrees. Tonight's low was 35. Not good at all there weather-wise. The low on Wednesday is 24 degrees in Driscoll, Texas. Very, very cold. But by the end of the week, it should pop back up temperature-wise. Dramatically so, but this week is going to be very cold in Driscoll, Texas. That seems like what's going on throughout the entire country is it's cold. So if you're in these areas that usually don't get the cold, and you're getting the cold, be very, very careful out there. I know that this is a few years ago, Don, right? That Atlanta got an ice storm. I think it was like a 2-inch ice storm, and it really messed traffic up. This was a couple of years ago.
When they have bad weather in the south, they get crippled because, first of all, people down there don't really have experience driving down there. I'm talking about the people who, were born down there, but people from the north do, and they don't have the equipment that we have up here in the northeast.
And Texas had a major winter event as well a few years ago that really did a lot of damage.
Driving around, I drive around a lot in my job, and November, December, I go by the DPW bonds, and I see signs out there looking for subcontractors to plow. So I'm hoping the state and the towns, the cities, got their quota for subcontractors, because I know a few subcontractors who used to plow and they don't get a plow anymore. I don't know. They just said it's not working anymore. They shut down. And, like my brother used to plow for the state, but now he shuts his excavation company down and goes down to Florida and builds kitchens. And that's what he is right now, building a kitchen down in Naples. I mean, what's not to like there? So I mean, I hope the ranks are filled as far as the plowing, and do what you can for your neighbor. If you have an elderly neighbor or anybody with a disability who needs help, maybe shovel them out. Fire hydrants is always good. And just try to stay off the road. I mean, get all this stuff now, and whatever. Hopefully, you just ride the storm out. I know it's only 3 to 6 inches, and it's not much. And I know a lot of people, but you got people who have to go to work.
Yeah.
I got to work today. I got to go after the show. I got to go jump on an oil truck and go do 25 stops because I'm doing it today because I don't want to be on the road tomorrow.
Well, you talk about Florida. You talk about Florida, it's comfortable right now there. It's 69 degrees in Newport Richey. 72 for the high today, 52 for the low.
Oh, that's terrible.
Well, it's comfortable compared to what we're
But I
doing.
mean, like I said at the beginning of the show, there's a lot of black ice out there now. The parking lot's pretty icy. I'm
Yeah.
seeing all the parking lots are icy and the secondary roads. 44, I'm assuming it's all right, but drive it like it's not, I think, in my opinion. So just try to stay safe out there. Just try to stay safe during the storm. Just use common sense, obviously, and just make sure all the snow's off your car. You know what I mean? The state police are cracking down on that big time. So just take the extra 10, 15 minutes to make sure all the snow. You don't want to cause an accident for somebody to have ice fly out.
Yeah.
And especially when the temperatures drop come Monday night, Tuesday, that will be something that there'll be all ice then at some point. So,
And I think our guest is here.
okay, well I'm gonna
So-
go let my guest in.
Yeah.
I think he had to drive.
And
I think he had to drive slow because of the weather.
and while we get our guest situated, let's take our first commercial break right now. We'll be right back here on Middleboro Review, WBBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You should reach them at 508-583-1495. They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. 508-583-1495.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home.
Hey, Coven.
What are you doing for us? You gotta be at the outside.
Stage living abroad.
This is your mic here.
So, it is my Detroit Lions today.
I know. Right out the door.
Right out the door.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Alexander.
Alexander. All right.
Coven Alexander, okay.
Get his
We
name
got
right.
it. We got it.
How you doing? All right.
Good, yeah, that's good.
What time you got to eat that?
Oh, it was 9, 10.
Oh,
It's not bad, but
yeah. Train's gonna be here though. Stop. Tell Kenny, hey, you bumped into me, and I tell you everything.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, 0. And we're back. 7:20 a.m. here on a kind of cold. It's going to get cold Sunday morning here.
Yeah, a real black ice kind of Sunday. I'm gonna keep saying it every time. There's just a lot of right. You just drove here from Brockton,
Yeah.
Colvin. How's the black ice straight
it
now?
was bad. Just getting out the parking lot, I almost fell. If it wasn't for Donnie telling me to be careful, I would have lost it. So
I pulled up and Joey was standing there.
Yeah, I would not
He was
dare
standing
move.
there. I'm saying, what are you standing there for? You know? You only stand there for a minute? I think you'd be on there.
About a minute, yeah.
Oh, really? 'Cause
Yeah.
you left 10 minutes before me.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right, well, any parking lots, your driveway, I don't know.
please
Just,
be safe.
yeah, just relax. Watch Scooby-Doo until 9, until the sun comes up, I think. That's my thing. Go and have some hot chocolate and watch Scooby-Doo.
Coven Alexander is our guest today.
Colvin.
Good morning.
Colvin.
Coven, yes.
Yeah.
Good morning. Thanks
Would
for
you say
having me.
COVID?
Appreciate it. No,
No,
it's
I
no worries.
think
call
I
it
said
COVID?
COVID.
It's all love. It's all love. It's all love. I'm
How you
grateful to
doing?
be
Good
here.
morning, Colvin. Glad you showed up. And Colvin is our football guy. We got to call him our football guy because he knows a lot. He played high school football for Brockton.
Yes, sir.
And tell us about that. Tell us about the games you did as far as your most memorable game as far as your senior or junior year.
My most memorable game was, it's unfortunate, we lost, but it was in the playoffs, and I remember, like, that's the most I've ever been, like, locked in and ready to go. Unfortunately, it ended up not.
Was
not
the playoffs at Gillette?
No,
No.
This was the first round, so we got booted out the first round.
Who'd you-
Unfortunately, never made it out anywhere past that.
Who'd you play?
Dang, I can't remember, but I do remember one thing. It was cold, and that was a rough game. But other than that, it's been great.
When do they usually do the playoffs? Is it usually like right before Thanksgiving?
It's right before Thanksgiving, correct?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So, but other than that, it's grateful to be here. Unfortunately, your Lions lost, so it's
Yeah.
kind of tough.
Oh, yeah?
We'll get to that.
Well,
I
Buffalo-
have some thoughts.
Yeah.
Not good thoughts on the Lions, for sure.
I was Buffalo. I didn't even look in. I don't know. It's Buffalo.
They play today, correct?
Yeah, they play today.
Who are they playing?
I don't know. It's a toss-up.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the Ravens. It's a complete
You're the
toss-up.
Ravens, right?
I have no idea. I don't know who.
I think the
who-
Bill. I think the Bills got to run away with it.
I think the Commanders. I think are probably rooting for the Rams right now.
You're rooting for the Rams.
I think the Commanders are rooting for the Rams.
Oh, okay.
I think the Commanders probably want to face the Rams more than the Eagles. Even though the Commanders did beat the Eagles earlier on this season, it's the playoffs. It's much
Yeah.
different.
That's
Eagles
right.
are
That's
dangerous in
right.
the playoffs.
Yeah, this is a really exciting time. I mean, this is a good day to just watch the football game and
Absolutely.
you know. But it's gonna get cold, so after the game, you gotta go out and do your chores. You gotta make sure everything's cleared out. You're gonna be dealing with Ice Station Zebra. Everyone know that show? No, you guys are too young. I know a lot of people who are probably my age saw that movie. It's called Ice Station Zebra. It was a really good Arctic submarine movie. It was really. My father took me to see that at a place in Quincy. It's now closed. I guess nobody can mention it. It was called the Farmhouse. The the Oyster House in Quincy. Okay, and they used to play movies like on a rail.
Yeah.
So we used to go there and watch 2 movies and have dinner and on Sunday nights. That was the place to go, and it was big too. A lot of people sat there, and I see a lot of movies. Emperor of the North with Ernest Borgnine.
Taking us down memory lane, huh?
Yeah, well, it's just, it's funny too. It's just these old movies just bring back are so good. You know what I mean? It's just I can't see it with the new movies, and
Come on,
No.
come on.
There's a lot of older movies like Emperor of the North, Ernest Borgnine. You ever heard of him?
No, I haven't.
McHale's Navy.
I'm a youngin', so
Well, that's
please
well,
give me
that's
some leeway.
there was a show called McHale's Navy in the '60s, and he was McHale's Navy, and he was a comedian, Ernest Borgnine, and you always thought of him as that role, like Robin Williams, but he played a sadistic conductor in the Depression with Lee Marvin. Its movie was. Anybody who hasn't seen that movie, if you want to see a dark side of Ernest Borgnine,
That's the movie.
that is the movie to watch. Yes.
All right. Another thing that broke in the sports world this week is that Sean Newcomb, a Middleboro High School graduate and former first-round Major League Baseball draft pick, has been invited to the Boston Red Sox spring training camp, and that begins in February. Newcomb, 31 years old, had a .46 earned run average as a Middleboro High School senior. He notched 110 strikeouts and 58 innings pitched. The left-hander was signed to a minor league deal with the Red Sox and invited to the Major League camp. This team announced this back on the 17th of January. The Los Angeles Angels selected Newcomb as the 15th pick in the first round in 2014. Newcomb has a 4.51 earned run average with 438 strikeouts and 175 major league games so far in his 10-year career, including 60 starts. He has played for the Braves 2017 to 2022, the Cubs in 2022, and the Athletics in 2023 and 2024. So congratulations to Sean Newcomb as he enters his 11th season, potentially with the Boston Red Sox.
Well, and we're talking baseball now, huh? Because spring training is next month.
Yeah.
When is spring training?
It's like
February?
a little less than a month away now.
Really?
It's getting there. Yeah.
That's funny too. I talked to Tony Lopes, and I think he tries to go to a couple games. I think I'm not sure if he went last year, but I've talked to Tony, and he, everyone's down in Florida for the winter. They try to. It's great. They're the first ones to see baseball when we're up here shoveling snow.
Well, no snow this time, but
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be very interesting to see Sean Newcomb in a Red Sox uniform. And again, he'll probably pitch a little bit in the spring training at Fort Myers. And then he might end up in the farm system with the team. I'm assuming if he ends up in the farm system, they will call him up for a game, and they'll have him pitch at Fenway. I think that will probably happen. So we'll see what happens.
You know when opening day is for the Red Sox?
Opening day is like late March.
how do you feel about the
season.
Red Sox?
This year they're better.
Yep.
How much better? I don't know yet. They really picked up mostly on the pitching. They did better on the pitching this year, getting some good pitchers. Hopefully, some of their other pitchers who they got are healthy as well. So we'll see what happens there. If they stay healthy, they're a better team. They're a much better team than they were last year. They might sneak into the playoffs. Are they a World Series team? I don't know yet. I don't think so. I don't think they made enough moves. I mean, if they get Alex Bregman, then that might be a different story. But there hasn't been any news on that yet. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think it's a little bit too early to say.
Well, will
Exactly.
you have an idea as their playing abilities for spring training?
Absolutely, you'll have an idea pretty quickly.
Now, about how many games they usually play?
In spring training is about a month.
So they play about 10 games or something?
A little bit more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny too because they go all over Florida. Usually during the season they're all over the United States. Now they just pretty much stay in Florida.
Stay
Yeah.
local.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure if.
They'll play American League teams only because the American League is in Florida. They split it up. American League and National League is two different places. Usually the National League, they're in Arizona, and then the other one, American League. There might be some National League teams in Florida, but I'm not 100% certain on that.
Who are they? Arizona?
Arizona, half the league goes to Arizona, half the league goes to Florida.
And that's great for those economies too,
Yeah.
because people come to games. Mostly retired, but people live there too. It's probably people that just go to the spring games probably, and they don't bother going to the regular game. Like, I think a spring game would be more fun because it's
good
the
casual
game.
watch. Good casual watch. Go out, eat some popcorn, and just enjoy your
I
time.
just love the idea of the first game. What's the first football game? It's played down in Ohio, right, Joey? The very first football game of the season.
The very first football game is played in Canton, Ohio. Yes.
Yeah.
Of the season.
I love the idea of that.
Tradition.
Yeah,
Tradition.
it is tradition. That's definitely understand.
There's two leagues. There's the Cactus League, which is the Arizona League, and then you have the Grapefruit League, which we are in, which that's the Florida League.
Yeah.
All right, it's 7:30 a.m. Let's take our first commercial break right now. When we come back, we're gonna switch over to some football, and not a good week for me in my predictions at all. So we'll talk about that coming out of the break here. We'll be right back here on Middleboro Review on WVB at 15:30 a.m. 99.7 FM.
What was your prediction?
My prediction was that the Lions would beat the Commanders and that the Chiefs would beat The Texans.
Who won the Texans?
The Chiefs.
Oh,
So I got half
I
of
was
that
in his
right.
house doing his heat, so I couldn't watch it.
You should have put the game on. Put the
I
game
heard him
on.
cursing. He was cursing a storm.
What about the game?
Yeah, because he came down and he told me, oh, Patrick Mahomes was getting bailed. There was a bunch of like unnecessary calls.
Yeah.
He apparently there was a roughing the passer call.
Oh.
I heard him scream, "What the?"
Yeah.
And I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "They're calling bullshit." And I said,
Yeah.
"Oh."
So he lightened up at the end.
Yeah, he definitely lightened up.
Yeah.
Because that's what the reps do
Yeah.
consistently with the Chiefs.
So they open up the supply houses for it?
Yeah.
They do that?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I never knew that.
So who told you that?
Chris, I talked to Ken. I even told Ken, I said, I'm here at the shop. I just met Donnie. Donnie told me to give you a call about this customer. And he was like, call Chris and see what they can do. Chris had me call the supply shop. I left a voice note. And then probably like 30 minutes later, someone got back to me.
Yeah, they probably got somebody on call.
On call.
Yeah, I mean they kind of have to do it, or you'll buy your supply somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of have to do. That's good. That's good. That's good. You know, that's one of our bigger users.
Yeah, and then he literally
And look for the neighborhood. You saw the neighborhood.
He literally explained to me it's not just this property. He has other properties that, and I was like, oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful I met you that night.
Yeah. Yeah. But just being there forever, you just know.
Yeah.
You just know, and that's
But like you said, driving up to it, I knew I was like, okay, this is a different.
Yeah, this is
It's
different.
something different now.
Yeah, yeah. So it might be prudent for Chris to have those stocks, those pots on hand, even if he doesn't use them.
Yeah.
Have them for him.
It's funny because
You know what I mean? Because I don't think he'd be so mad about his rental properties, but if you can't fix his house,
that's his house, right? That's where he
yeah,
lives.
you know what I'm saying?
Because I went up to his house twice.
Yeah.
I'm sure I told you.
Yeah, he has a couple. I think he's got one in Braintree.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got. I don't think he's got 4 or 5 properties.
Early in the morning, I went there, fixed his second floor unit. And then the same day, his first floor unit got get better. And that's the unit that gave him trouble.
No, yeah. Yeah, I think maybe when you talk to Chris, ask him, is there going to be, are you going to stock up on this particular house so in case it happens next time? And see what he says.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know? Because I was surprised he didn't have it. He's pretty good about having stock in there.
He has all the smart, I think because it was a big unit. And I think what it was,
It's an oddball, right?
it's an oddball and it's a big unit.
Yeah.
So usually your big units are going to be your newer units are half horsepower. This is 340, so it's a little more power
Right.
than usual. So
I mean, could that motor be used for anything else? Any other systems out there that you see, or is that like one and done kind of thing?
it's just to speak of age, it's a Magic Chef. Magic Chef stopped producing units probably 10, 15, almost 20 years ago now.
So he has an obsolete system. I'm getting a new system.
But I can't tell him that.
Yeah.
I just gotta fix it.
Yeah, well, maybe fixed it, right?
Yeah,
That's it. Baptism by fire, baby. That's how you
2
do it.
minutes.
It's good.
But guys, again, it's thing. I'm thinking.
It means you're smart. You're smart.
I'm trying.
You're a smart person. You doing transportation or just all football?
We'll do some transportation. No. TikTok got banned.
Yeah, last night.
Yeah, it's gonna be banned for probably 48 hours, and that's it.
I didn't get it. I was stuck at the
It'll be a
customer's.
quick ban.
I was stuck at the customer's house and didn't get a chance to enjoy it, so I was kind of mad.
It's gonna be a quick 48-hour ban. Trump's gonna extend the deadline.
By the time I got home,
Well, how can you? The court.
it's a law. Yeah, isn't it a law?
But he can. He can. He said he's going to. He's going to.
They said even if you can, it's only for a period amount of time.
Yeah, he's gonna extend it for like 90 days.
Yes,
and then
that's
they're
how
gonna
they
work.
do it.
They're gonna work on.
To do something.
They're gonna work on some sort of.
Well, they gotta. At the end of the day, if the Chinese don't do
They have to divest.
if they don't, they're dark, going dark.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Well, that's good. Then at least there's a precedent now.
You know,
That you know, you gotta sell it or else. You know what I mean?
I think they will.
I don't want the Chinese communists owning that.
I don't. To me, it's all a big gimmick.
Yeah, you know what? I'd rather American company.
Well, everyone left TikTok and went to
Chinese
an
app.
actual
No,
Chinese
it was a
communist
Chinese
app.
app.
Oh, that is?
Yeah, yes, Red Note,
Red Note.
which is actually owned by the Communist Party of China.
The kids don't care, do they?
They don't, no. I mean, I care. I'm not gonna, go to Red Note. I mean, I'm fine with TikTok. I really didn't even use TikTok to begin with.
YouTube, right?
I'm fine with YouTube. At the end of the day, YouTube's still there.
I'm just glad I work enough to keep me busy, so I
Yeah,
don't
but
use the
what-
phone. Yeah.
YouTube's still there, so I don't care. Okay, anyway. Here we go. 3, 2, those are up. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we're back here on Middleboro Review on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We're going to switch over to some sports here in a second, but first, our Today in Histories, because I don't want to do it at the end because I don't want to be up against it. So let's do those Today in Histories now. All right, January 19th, 1861, during the American Civil War, Georgia joins South Carolina, Florida, Mississippi, and Alabama in declaring secession from the United States. A year later, January 19, 1862, also during the Civil War, the Battle of Mill Springs takes place. The Confederacy suffered its first significant defeat in the conflict. January 19, 1920, the United States Senate votes against joining the League of Nations. 1920, the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU, is founded. January 19, 1937, Howard Hughes sets a new air record by flying from Los Angeles to New York City in 7 hours, 28 minutes, 25 seconds. January 19, 1953, almost 72% of all television sets in the United States are tuned in to I Love Lucy to watch Lucy give birth. Don, were you one of those 72%?
What year?
1953.
I wasn't around.
Yes, but if it was on as a
I watched the last MASH episode.
Repeat.
No, I watched the last MASH episode. I think it was the most viewed in history.
Okay.
Okay, in 1983. So I watched that with my father, my aunt, my whole family was there for some reason, and my whole family never got together. Everyone was out doing something. We're all sitting there. It's funny how a TV program can bring everyone together. And then it was like the one and only time we were all together watching the show because once it was over, everyone went their own directions. But that's pretty impressive, huh?
72%.
Wow.
Did you ever watch that episode?
I don't remember it. No.
Okay.
No.
No.
I was too busy watching Rat Patrol. Holy
1978, the lost Volkswagen Beetle made in Germany leaves the VW plant in Emden. This Beetle production in Latin America continues until 2003. So the Volkswagen Beetle is done in Germany in 1978, but does still continue up until 2003.
Well, yeah, mostly Mexico.
Mostly Mexico.
You can get a Beetle, yeah.
Yeah. 1981, during the Iran hostage crisis, United States and Iranian officials signed an agreement to release 52 American hostages after 14 months of captivity. This was a day before Ronald Reagan took office.
Today is the last full day of President Joe Biden's
Yes, it is.
presidency. Full day. I mean, at 12 o'clock. So at 12, is it 12:01? That's when President Bush is going to be sworn in. Vice President J.D. Vance will be sworn in. And it's funny how they do it because they do. I think they do the vice president first. So technically, for 1 minute, J.D. Vance is Biden's vice president for 1 minute. I heard that. I watched a video on quirky stuff like that, and I thought it was cool for 1 minute. The time takes some. So I mean, Vance done first,
Yeah.
and then Trump is done after that. But for 1 minute,
Nice.
technically, just like how Blinken is actually technically still going to be the Secretary of State until Rubio's sworn in. You know, if you look at all the things, it's usually a few hours to a few days after inauguration until the Trump the new president that has his cabinet. But I thought that was cute. You know,
Alright.
1 minute.
1 year ago today, the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency probe landed on the moon, making Japan the 5th country to land spacecraft on the moon. Don, what are the other 4?
The United States, Soviet Union,
Yes, sir.
India.
Maybe.
I think India.
Maybe.
You mentioned Japan, right?
Yeah.
And,
Would China be the other one?
I
think China would probably be the other one.
No.
No?
No.
No?
I think it's
Wow.
it's kind of
Britain?
no. I don't know.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, look it up.
We'll have to look it up. All right.
I think India is one of them. Oh no, it's a South American country. I think.
Brazil?
Yeah, Brazil.
Okay.
I believe. I know.
Right, birthdays. 1807, Robert E. Lee, American Confederate General. 1909, Edgar Allan Poe, American short story writer and poet and also critic. 1941, Pat Patterson, Canadian wrestler, trainer, and referee. 1943, Janis Joplin, American singer-songwriter. 1946, Dolly Parton. 1947, Rod Evans of Deep Purple. Don?
Yeah.
Not my favorite era of Deep Purple, but, you know, I can respect Rod Evans. You know, I can respect that era of Deep Purple. I absolutely do not care for the Rod Evans Captain Beyond era. I do not.
Well, to go back to the people who visit the moon, Coven just showed me on his phone. It's China, Japan, India, United States, and the Soviet Union.
Okay,
That's 5 right there.
there you go. Our birthdays, continuing here. 1949, Robert Palmer, Addicted to Love. Amazing song.
You sound sick of that. What's going on over there?
Boy, I'd rather listen
Don,
to I'd
voices his displeasure.
I'd rather listen to people scratching a chalkboard.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that was it.
You'll probably voice your displeasure again at this one. 1959, Jeff Pilson, formerly of Dawkins. He is now he's in Foreigner now, and he's making a lot of money in Foreigner.
What's he doing?
He's part of the band.
What's he do? He's
Pretty much live stuff.
He's singing?
They go.
No, Lou Graham sings, right?
They
Lou
do.
Graham?
They do concerts
Okay.
all the time.
That's
They
good.
go on tour all the time.
That's good.
Foreigner makes a lot of money, and Jeff Pilson's pretty happy.
No,
I don't
bands
think
like-
I don't think he's ever going to go back to Dawkins. I don't think you're going to see a Dawkins reunion with all the original.
You know what? It's funny too because when you're in a band and you play songs, you really like the songs. If
Yeah.
you really like the songs, you really like being part of it. So.
I mean, yeah, they'll never say never about a Dawkins reunion, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's.
You ever
gonna
see
happen.
Dawkins? I've seen Dawkins.
I have not seen Dawkins live.
They're all right. I was just waiting for the Scorpions to come on.
Exactly.
And I
Yeah.
was la to the Scorpions. You know, because when I seen them in 1988, I was waiting for the Scorpions.
And finally, Jeff Van Gundy, his birthday is today. Born in 1962, was on the Red Sox. The Celtics. There we go.
Yeah.
That's completely different. Exactly.
Viola.
The
Viola.
Celtics.
Yeah.
2024 championship winning staff there. Anyway, that is your today in histories. Now, moving on from that,
What, football now?
football. So Sunday's games first.
What do you think?
Let's get that out of the way.
Put you right on the spot. Right on the bus.
I told you I want the Ravens to go all the way. I'm really a big fan of Lamar, and I want to see him finally bring one home.
Mhm.
But after watching the Lions game, I'm kind of nervous for everything because anything could happen. And so, and that's a 50-50 game down the middle. And I just don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Commanders made everyone nervous last night.
Yeah.
They played extremely
Yeah.
well. They shut down. You know what? I kind of knew it was coming. I kind of knew it was coming. The Lions had 18 players in injured reserve. 18.
But they played well up to that game for some reason.
Yeah, and just the defense for Washington was able to exploit the injuries.
Where was the game at?
And Detroit.
It was in Detroit.
It was in Detroit.
It was in Detroit. I believe Washington is not going to be playing a home game at all in this entire playoffs. If they make it, well, they have made it to the NFC Championship game. They're not playing a home game. Whoever wins, they will be traveling to. So they're not playing a home game.
Really? So they're done. Their stadium's closed for the season,
Their
right?
stadium's done for the season, yes.
Wow.
You know, I mean, unless Taylor Swift goes back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Taylor Swift,
I
the
love-
Chiefs won.
I love the idea. I love the idea of an underdog. I love the idea that they, when was their last game, the regular season game, and then they shut everything down over in Washington, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's fun.
So
I love the underdog story
I-
of that.
they might have. Did they play in Washington during the wild card?
No,
They might have. I mean, they were facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
but the stars align differently. When now they're just until the Super Bowl, they're done. They kick.
Well, yeah, the
They,
FedEx Field or whatever you call it now is
Yep.
done
It's
for the
done.
season.
Right.
Potentially done. Well, not this upcoming season, but it's coming up. They're talking about building a new stadium, the old RFK stadium site in DC. They're talking about it. There's been some votes on it in Congress, in DC, on the
So
stadium.
RFK's in District of Columbia. It's in
Yeah,
that footprint.
DC.
Okay, right. It's not Virginia or
No,
Maryland.
it's
Nice.
DC.
Yeah. Well,
So that would be interesting to see what happens there. But they gotta get through this next game here. It's gonna be tough either way. I think if you're the Commanders, you want to face the Rams more. I don't think you want to face Eagles in the NFC Championship.
All right. What's your thoughts on Buffalo? I mean, they got to win today.
Okay, so the fact that the Commanders made it to the NFC Championship game gives me a little bit more hope that the Bills will actually make it to the AFC Championship game. Past that, I'm not too.
What's your thoughts,
happy.
Bo, as far as the
Uh,
Bills?
He made a couple of great points. The Buffalo Bills, I'm rooting against them. It's really a 50-50 game. I think we all feel that. I don't think it's any different.
Yeah. Which makes for a good game.
Yeah,
Wow.
they say this game has the potential, as quote unquote, to feed families for generations.
Yeah.
Because this is the
That's a
kind
good
of,
thing.
this is the kind of heavy hitter game that
Yeah.
everybody wants. So
Right. Yeah.
we're in for a good game, hopefully.
Awesome. Yeah. No, that's-
The Rams and the Eagles.
Good analysis.
Thank you.
The analysis.
The Rams and Eagles. That's a potential thing as well. That's a potentially good one.
Now you say the Redskins might want to see the Rams, but the Rams are playing with house money. I don't think they have anything to lose. They shouldn't.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I don't think so either. The Rams are fighting for much more than football.
Yeah, so they got a lot of their. I think they have that the energy
Yeah,
and the
right.
fight. So either way, Redskins don't want to see neither team. I believe,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think
Not
so.
Redskins, Commanders.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The name might not be coming back, but the logo might be coming back. That was also been talked about, by the way. I don't know if that's 100% going to happen, but that was talked about. I think there was a congressman out of Montana. Was it Steve Deans? I'm not sure. It was somebody who was out of Montana, congressman out of Montana, talking about potentially bringing back not the name, but the logo.
Has to show, how do I say, love, for
Respect.
them, respect and
Yeah.
admiration.
That's what I feel about.
Yeah.
I think it was all blown out of proportion. I always thought these teams did show respect for. You
Because
know,
they still kept the I'm gonna butcher this and correct me if I'm wrong. The gentleman on the horse with the I'm lost. You know what I'm talking about in the pregame traditions.
Yes, I'm forgetting the name of the chief that
The chief, yes.
that
They still
this was based off of.
Yeah, they still
Yeah.
show respect. They still do all of that.
I feel there's been nothing but respect. I
Yeah,
just think it's been blown
absolutely.
out of proportion, in my opinion. I don't know. It's just And once you take it away, it's gone forever. So I mean, you got to be careful before you start taking everything
Be
away.
careful what you play with.
Yeah, yeah.
So here's the interesting thing. Okay, the Commanders are in the playoffs. The last time the Commanders were in the playoffs, a certain team on the AFC side was on the playoffs as well, and that was the Bills. These two teams faced off in the Super Bowl. Yeah,
See what
this was one of the Super Bowls that the Bills lost.
I had a friend of mine.
4 in a row.
I had a friend of mine who used to always go to Buffalo in September. The
Yeah.
first game, usually in September when we play Buffalo the first time. It's the first couple games.
I think
He
it's on
did it.
September, October.
I'm not sure if he
yeah.
does it anymore, but when I'm chumming around, but he did it every year. They just went. He didn't go to the one. He didn't go to the one in Foxborough. But he took the ride to Buffalo. He said, I don't know, we just get in the car, we go to Buffalo, go to the game, and drive
Make
home.
a trip out of it.
Well, you don't want to go in,
Yeah.
that's why you don't play Buffalo in December because it's 20 feet of snow there.
Right.
You know.
You had mentioned 4 in a row, 4 losses in a row.
4 losses in a row for the Bills.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one of them against the Redskins, 37-24. The Redskins head coach in 1991, Joe Gibbs, he was there at the game last night. So
Yes, he was. Yes.
yeah, I think the Redskins.
So people are
or
passionate
Commanders.
about.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Redskins,
I think I
Commanders.
started it.
No,
I'm
people
sorry,
are passionate about it. I mean,
you know.
you were doing a repair yesterday, and the customer was losing his
Yeah,
mind.
I was in a customer's house and I could hear him hooting and hollering a storm from downstairs in the basement. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
and you know what? One of the teams that the Commanders, or back in '91, they were called the Redskins, that the Washington Redskins beat in 1991 was the Detroit Lions.
History has a tendency to repeat itself.
Is history repeating itself?
Yeah.
Are we gonna see? Are they gonna see the Commanders versus the Bills in the Super Bowl? Maybe. Gotta get through Mahomes though.
The reason I want the Bills to win is because they weren't when the Patriots were on fire.
Mhm.
They weren't really a good team. We used to beat up on them all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Everybody
It's
now.
just really, I mean, call the abuse on it because it's just we beat them up all the time. It wasn't good, So
Yeah.
I now that the Patriots, what are they? You know what I mean? They're all home watching Scooby Doo. You know what I mean? They're not playing, obviously. So
No.
that's what I think. I want to see the Bills doing it. It's good for Buffalo too. That city. I like that city. Joey and I went to Buffalo in June. When did we go there? September. When we went through.
It was nice when you guys went.
I like
I believe
it.
so.
I like it. It's just not one of those fancy cities that people go and it's not like Florida or something like that. But I like it. I like the history. I like history, so
Yeah.
I like going to the old cities. And these cities were the breadbasket and the lifeline of our country back in the 40s and 50s. I mean, without these cities, we wouldn't be where we are as a country.
Today.
So it's always the rusty cities that are insignificant now were the biggest players, because of because of the Erie Canal and because of shipping.
A great example of that is Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh,
Steelers.
Pittsburgh, beautiful.
They have a way of.
You ever been to
the football
Pittsburgh
team.
before?
No, but
Yeah.
the way the team is brings the city into their
Everyone
culture.
loves Pittsburgh. Everyone. I have a
You
friend.
talking about Buffalo just brought that into.
Yeah,
mind.
no, you say that because I have a friend who lives in Pennsylvania, and the whole family's Pittsburgh. They talk about Pittsburgh, Iron City Bear. They drink, everything's Pittsburgh. Everything's it's tight knit community for Pittsburgh and all the surrounding areas of. And they take their football seriously
Yeah.
more than I know they got the Pirates, the baseball team, and they got, but
No, but
it's
they
the
love
football.
their
It's the
football.
football.
Yeah, they love their
Terry
football.
Bradshaw.
Yeah, they.
You think of Terry Bradshaw?
Yeah.
Did he do his whole career in Pittsburgh, Joe?
I believe it was all in Pittsburgh.
All in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
He was an icon. He was a hero. And you have people like my friend who lives there, grew up with him. And
Yeah.
and they might have looked up to him. You know what I mean? It's just like Joe Namath is another one.
That's another one. Yep.
You know what? Yeah, the Namath, the Marino. What was the other guy's? San Francisco.
Why did I?
Why am I forgetting it? Joe Montana.
Joe
The Montana Marino Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Both of those quarterbacks are from Pittsburgh. are in the area of Pittsburgh.
And then you had Steve Grogan from the Patriots,
Yeah.
and Greasy on the Miami.
Yeah.
I forgot his first name, but I mean these people were good quarterbacks. I mean I know Grogan didn't bring us a Super Bowl, but I mean
Yeah, and
It
Super
was-
Bowl 20, we
well-
got annihilated.
well you got some. I mean you got Ed Miller who has season tickets for the thick and the thin.
Yeah.
Through the good times and the bad times, they always went to the football game.
So you can
you
agree with me or disagree with me on this next statement. We've been to 10 Super Bowls. I think, in my opinion,
Uh-oh.
we should have won 9 of them.
Uh-oh.
well,
Why
was that
is that?
one we were never ahead? That one
The
Atlanta?
the
we were never ahead.
So-
that one?
so the only one that I don't think we could have won at all. Doesn't matter who we put on the field. Doesn't matter if we bring Brady over in a time machine and put him on the field. Was 1985. Okay.
No,
No way.
The Bears.
Sorry, but there's no way.
The Bears.
The Bears were just
The
too
Bears.
good on defense.
Yeah.
They were just way too good.
Yeah.
The only good thing that we did in that game was shut down Walter.
Was that the first
That
time?
was it.
Is that the first time the Patriots were in the Super Bowl?
I believe it was.
Yeah.
I believe it was. So that was the only game that I think we had no shot of winning. All the other 9 games, I mean, we won 6 of those, but the other 3, I think we could have beaten the Giants twice.
It's funny as
They
growing
got
up,
lucky twice.
growing up in the 70s, and the Patriots weren't really winning 78, 80, whatever, but everyone liked it. And my father, he was an artist. He painted a mural on my wall of
Yeah.
2 football players. One was the Patriots, and the other one was what was the other one? I'm not sure what the other one was, but I remember it was the Patriots, and it right down to the science, right? You know, it was like a tackle picture. So I grew up in my bedroom. Every day I woke up, there was a mural. It was about maybe half the size of that banner behind you. Every morning,
And I think we could have played a little bit better in beating the Eagles. I think we could have. I really do.
It's funny because
Does the
that's
Patriots play
game.
Oakland usually?
No.
No, only a
Not
champion. No.
No. So Patriots versus Oakland doesn't usually.
I think it was the Jets. I think the other team he put in was the Jets because it was another team. It was detailed down to. He took them took them like 3 weekends to do it.
Yeah. So the 2 Giants games, I think we could have beaten the Giants twice. That was ridiculous. Those 2 games. The Eagles, I think we could have played a little bit better and beaten the Eagles.
I'm all set with the Giants. I never
And-
ever see a Giant play in my life. I'm fine with twice.
The Packers-
Come on. That's
The-
Ridiculous.
It's so deep.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Bleed Patriots.
It's just dumb.
The Packers Patriots game, that's a little bit more questionable. I think we were tied at one point with the Packers in that game. I think we could have, if we played just a little bit better, made a couple of more plays, could have snuck by the Packers.
Can I switch this on you? How do you feel about the Atlanta game? The Atlanta Patriots game? Do you think you should have lost that game? No.
What, the one we were never had? That was luck. Come on.
You see?
That was luck. They just get the
You're not believing
get
it,
the
though.
lucky
Brady's
dust
good.
out.
Look at him,
Brady's
look at him.
good. Brady's good, and Brady is good, and Atlanta collapsed
Who
under pressure.
was that? Who was that rookie who caught? Was that the game the rookie caught it and won everything at the end? What game was that?
That was Malcolm Butler. Yeah, the
Yeah.
interception at the
That
end.
was Seahawks.
That was the Seahawks game.
Seahawks game. You look
That was
at your
not
face.
Falcons.
Your face.
That was the Seahawks game, and
He was that big. Yeah, they all loved
Yeah,
him.
in the end
that
zone.
was definitely that was a fun one. For the
That's when they should have ran the ball on the 1 yard line.
that was
Yeah.
a fun one for the memes because you had Richard Sherman
Yeah.
with the
With
interesting
the
face that he made
Yep,
there.
The face.
No.
Look at this.
But he was pretty devastated.
I remember that face. That's the face that
of glory.
Yeah.
But Pete Carroll made one of the worst decisions in football history.
You have Marshawn Lynch in the backfield at the 1 yard line.
Exactly. Marshawn Lynch, one of the best runners on the planet at that point,
You're a regular encyclopedia as far as you must really remember that game.
Yeah.
You must go back and look at films and stuff. Like,
It's fun. It's to go back and just watch history,
Yeah.
like pivotal moments to see Richard Sherman's face, and you go, I remember this when I first.
yeah,
saw it.
in the moment of time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's just like, I mean, expression is like worth 1,000 words.
I remember
It really-
watching the game, going, they're gonna hand the ball off to Marshawn. The game is over,
They didn't.
and being in complete distraught the fact that they threw it and it was a pick. Like last night, watching the Lions do the trick play, and I seen that wide receiver roll out, and I said, "Don't throw the ball." And I watched him throw the ball, and I said, "It's a pick." And it was a pick. I turned the game off.
I knew it
I
was
said,
over.
I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
That was kind of the nail in the coffin.
At that point, you know not to throw the ball. Nobody's open because
Right.
he's looking. Don't throw the ball. He throws it, and it was a pick. I said, I'm done with this.
They got too cute. They tried to
thank
be
you.
too cute. Now,
Don't get
you're
fancy.
down 14 points.
Yeah, go get a win.
All right, we gotta go because we're over time. Thank you, Coven, for
Thank you.
being here
Yeah,
today.
thank you for showing up. Drive safe out of here. Like I said, black guys out there, please be careful driving and walking.
All right, bye bye, everybody. We'll be back next week. Bye bye.
Awesome.
That was good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
See, you go down memory lane there. For
Yeah, it's good. I think that makes the show fun for
Yeah,
people.
that was fun.
You know what I mean? People want to light a note at 7 in the morning. They don't want to hear
I seen the pain come back through your body.
Oh,
The
no.
Giants.
Oh, I'm done.
I hate the Giants.
I'm done. They're all set.
That was despicable.
I
We should have not
I hope-
lost to the Giants.
I hope that
let
stadium
alone
falls
once,
in the swamp.
twice.
I hope it goes where Jimmy Hoffa goes.
That was ridiculous.
Well, both of them.
Eventually, they're going to find Jimmy Hoffa's body.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
You know, it might be 2,100, but they'll find it.
They said it's underneath the cement at that's rumors that his body
It's
is
under the stadium.
It's under the stadium.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. What a way to go out. Huh?
Yeah. You ever see the movie Hoffa with
No, how do you
Jack?
spell it?
Interesting. All right, bye, everybody.
Hoffa?
Yeah, Jimmy Hoffa.